Welcome everyone to another episode of Time for BL. This is the podcast where we review movies, TV shows, novels, and comics, all in the boys love genre. When I saw the artwork on this manhwa, I knew I had to read it. When I read it, I knew I had to review it because, we going to some places that I don't want to go. Anyway, so I read Wish Me Love. I found it on Tappytoon because they were giving away free tickets towards episodes. I love looking for deals to read. But instead I chose to go the 18 plus version because I'm an adult and I can do that if I want to. So I went online and read the mature version instead. So I could get the whole story, I guess. Get the whole story. And the biggest issue is I just dove right in. I saw the artwork, like I said, and I just assumed that it's going to be this really cute, fluffy story about an employee who was in love with his boss, but when he saw him kissing another man, he assumed he had a boyfriend and was discouraged, not knowing it was his ex trying to cause a scene. And then the boss, not realizing that his employee has a crush on him and thinking, oh, he must have been weirded out finding out that I am gay. That's what I thought in the first first couple chapters. I was wrong. I should have read the description because when I came out and I was like, what is this? And I read the description. If only. The description is, Yijin couldn't have lucked out more, getting a job working for the charismatic Joo-hyuk, one of the most influential figures in the restaurant franchise industry. He's the perfect boss until Yijin catches Joo-hyuk kissing a man and finds out he's gay. But when his father gets in trouble with debt collectors, Yijin turns to Joo-hyuk for a huge favor. As a businessman with prior experience in such matters, Joo-hyuk agrees to help, but he wants something physical in return. The physical is Yijin's body. Oh boy, this predatory boss, and man, I've never felt so sorry for a homophobe in my life. I actually really felt sorry for Yijin because Joo-hyuk in the story, it definitely has this position of power and definitely can hold a lot against Yijin. He's his boss, and plus Yijin his family's in this financial situation, so he held all the cards. And there's a part where he's like, he's in his thought bubble, he said it as a joke, but obviously for Yijin it's not a joke, and he thought he had no other choice, and also Joo-hyuk let him go through with it. It's man, even when I was reading where he's talking about these men and wants help from his boss because he believes his boss might have the connections to do it, to find these debt collectors, I'm thinking it's going to become a whole thing where because his boss is helping him find these debt collectors, he slowly falls in love with Joo-hyuk. No, that is not it. This is why you read the descriptions, but I will never learn my lesson. I will continue to skip descriptions and just jumping into books because the art looks really pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm really upset with storylines like this, but they keep coming out, and I always wonder who reads and enjoys these. Because for me reading it, I was just disgusted. I guess there are people who think it's cute and adorable, and they just love it because he's gonna slowly fall in love with him after being forced into a sexual situation. I should start putting trigger warnings on these. I think a really good comparison for this actually is on or off. Because in on or off, one of the things it starts out with is a quid pro quo situation between our two leads, where one of them is the boss of the company who is picking someone to come in and create an app for the company, and the other one is trying to get his works read or looked over because his team worked really hard on it and he feels he messed up the presentation. And the boss says, well, you know what, if you can sleep with me, then I'll look over the paperwork. And he agrees. Now, why do I find this better is because it was established from the beginning that there was at least an attraction there. Is it still wrong? Yes. But with the attraction, to me, it made it better. And also the fact that in the end, he actually wasn't chosen because of that. Because of that, it actually disqualified him. But because of it, he decided, let me just look at this that they handed in anyway, and ended up going on, realizing it's a really good app, and was like, okay, let me bring them in. So it wasn't even that he got his team got chosen. It was because the quality of their work actually was good and was the best why they got chosen. The sex just made it awkward. So to me, on or off was just a better storyline with that completely, and shows them falling for each other and navigating a relationship with a boss, not even employee, boss contractor storyline. With this, it's not even that. It's straight up about a homophobe becoming gay versus a storyline about a bisexual guy and a gay guy falling in love. It's a homophobe becoming gay, and it's honestly just really old and really annoying to me at this point, because there's so much of that out, and it's the straight to gay storyline, or the whole idea that, yeah, if someone's a homophobe, they're a homophobe because they're secretly gay. No, some people are homophobes because they're just homophobes. And it's just it's been done. Let's move on. I really tried to just read as much as possible because I wanted to make sure I give this a proper review and really make sure I'm going into details with everything, but I don't want to waste too much of my points on that. So I only read up to chapter 6, which got me to the scenes where the sex as payment starts to jump off. Chapter 5, I think it started, chapter 6. It goes into chapter 6 to the next day. So I got to that part, and in that part, it actually, if anything, made it worse, especially with the boss, Joo Hyuk, because in chapter 5, I believe, he is talking about the fact that he's doing this mostly to mess with him, making him think he has to spend the night and all that stuff. But he doesn't tell him, all right, look, I'm just messing with you. I'll help you out. You don't need to have sex with me. No, he goes through with it because he thinks that Yijin is so cute. So he goes through with it. And Yijin is wanting to get drunk, do anything else just to not think about the situation and not have to experience the situation. And Joo Hyuk is just messing with him to the point where Yijin is even saying what he's not comfortable with and stuff like that. And Joo Hyuk is compromising, and I put that in quotation marks, is compromising so he can get what he wants. And it's the entire story, especially how quick it got to the sex. It makes me think they're going to try and make it sound more like a romance as early as possible, but honestly the whole thing has just left a bad taste. I am totally DNF on this one. I'm not going to finish it. I refuse to finish it. It's going on the shelf of never reading again. I'm deleting it out of my library. I want nothing to do with Wish Me Love. Oh my gosh, why? Why does this exist? Because of the subject matter, I give it the rating of 2 out of 10, which I believe is being very generous with it. And the reason why I'm even giving it a 2, I think the art style looks very nice. The art is beautiful. The art gets a 2. Yeah, and that's mainly what's bringing up the points, really. Just the art. The story plot, I'm just like, ew. The writing isn't horrible or anything like that. I guess if you like these kinds of storylines, you might enjoy it. But for me, when I'm reading or watching BL, I'm not looking for these situations where the power dynamic is so off balance. I really like ones where like they're closer in age, their career options are more aligned or closer, or at least like their level of education is on the same field at least, because when it's kind of aligned like that, it doesn't feel like there's as much as a power imbalance. Now there can be some really great stories with age gaps. There can be some really great stories with education levels differing, or job the careers differing, and being very varied, and still be good. They can still really be good. And they also can have all that and still be really bad. But in this case, because it's a boss-employee dynamic, and because of the fact that it's straight up just rape at this point, I don't care if you agree to it, it's rape. Because of all that, I'm just like, no, not interested. Like I said, I feel like I'm being way too damn generous about this. This might be a shorter episode because I was really, with the artwork really fooled me, because I fell in love with that cover. That is the cutest cover. It's going to be available on my Instagram and Facebook pages. I'll try and put it on Twitter as well. But yeah, I fell in love with the cover. I really wanted it to be good. But that just threw me out. I don't recommend. So yeah, ending on a bummer, I guess. Like I said, I really love the cover art. I really wish it was more of a romantic beginning story. I thought it was going to be whimsical. It's the only reason I jumped headfirst in, thinking it was going to be all fluffy and cute and awesome. But now I just want to read Cherry Blossoms After Winter and forget about it. Forget that existed. Forget what my eyes saw. If you actually love that manhwa, I would still love to hear what you loved about it, and especially if you read past chapter 6. Let me know what changes that made you continue. But keep in mind, I have a whole episode on here about why I hate Tarn Type. Is that the name of the show? Tarn Type? Yeah, Tarn Type. Yeah, why I hate Tarn Type. Why I want nothing else to do with Tarn Type or anything like it. And so just keep that in mind, that you're probably not going to change my mind on it. Nothing you say most likely will not let me keep reading. But I'd still love to hear what you enjoyed about it and why you kept reading and what you got to that made you say, yeah, I really like the storyline and I think it's great. I'd love to hear, because for me personally, don't see anything cute in it or anything that makes me want to go back and read it. But I'd love to hear why you want to continue to read it. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Make Some Time for, that's not the name of the show. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Time for BL, the show where we review. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon. Is that what I say? Is that what I sound like? Hold up, let me say it again. And have a good morning, evening, afternoon, or good night. Wow, my headphones are in. Okay, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, and night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Thank you for listening. Bye.